All right, thank you once again for joining us today at Eastern News 24. I see the bike and konye chiri ya zelo. I see no bossing kata adru na mana ya dike echi. Nature da agwago otai kurota ko ya direde. Ise. Diko si de ono na nilu akwụkwọ onye na fina kwọ major prophet. O wali fo tela nilu akwụkwọ mmachukwu nge ya bi ife. Basta maka the next phase. Cannot speak much about it. Okuru a lot of things concerning the new president of United States of America and the issue bastamaka nworo wendi bonazo ediki ege ya bife ige say drop ora ifiche ni akwụkwọ ode nke gị. All right, over to you, sir.
And I want you to quickly share the broadcast to your loved ones, your friends, your neighbor, as many people as possible that are on your platform. Let them know that the major prophet of God has come with accurate prophecy. I am here because there's a revelation that God is showing to the major prophet of God that I said today will not pass by, but major prophet of God is going to step out here and give the prophecy the way they are, because in the realm of the spirit the Lord will always show whatever want to happen spiritually to his servant, the major prophet of God, before the earth begin to know about it, because God is a spirit and there's nothing that happens at the back of God. He knows it all before they begin to happen. Before anything will happen on the face of the earth, our God has seen it all, and our God cannot allow anything to happen on the face of the earth without first of all telling his servant, the major prophet of God, that the major prophet of God should pray the prayer that he ought to pray. Because in the realm of the spirit, the major prophet of God, God has taken me to the spiritual world that I should be able to supervise and look at the things in the realm of the spirit to bring them to the physical. Because when these things are spiritually designed, we'll begin to follow them. Because I know that a lot of people that are carnally minded do not understand the things of the spirit and how they work. So I wanted to share the broadcast immediately with as many people as possible. As the message of God is coming from this altar, you can be one of the living witness. Share the broadcast immediately. Comment, I am here to witness what the Lord has to say. Be a witness, because everything that comes from this altar that the Lord has been given as revelations, they are all clear before the eyes of men. People will see it and people will be surprised. People will be wondering how is this thing happening? It is because God is God, and God can never stop being God. God can never stop being God. And that thing I want you to know is that if it is man that is speaking, the words of men may not come to pass. But if it's the Spirit of God that has revealed to a man, and the man of God speaks out as the Spirit reveals to him, everything that is said will surely come to pass. And before I proceed to the prophecies, I have a prayer for you, that everything that God is going to reveal about your life should be blessings upon blessings. It should be favor upon favor. It should be goodness upon goodness. It should be mercy upon mercy. Everything that God has designed to do in your life should all be the will of God concerning your life, because there are a lot of things that are cooked up in the spiritual world. The major prophet of God has sighted spiritually and has seen it all, and is here this evening to begin to prophesy them, so that everybody will hear with their ears what the Lord has to say. Because the prophecy and the revelations that God is opening to his servant, the major prophet of God, is for the people of God all over the world to pray the prayer they ought to pray. Because today I stumbled on something. I saw an article where somebody was lamenting how billionaires are getting richer, and people who are billionaires, they talk about Elon Musk, and they say that Elon Musk has made over $100 billion within the election till now. And they talk about the second man, this basketball, I don't know how they call the name. He said the man has made about 60-something billion, and they talk about this what's called the young man with that called Facebook. He has made almost 90-something billion, and began to mention the names of people who has made excess money. And the man was like, oh, why is it that the billionaires are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer? And when you look at down average, you see that millions, hundreds of millions of people are on daily basis going into abject poverty. And the Lord has opened the eyes of the major prophet of God right on the crossover, that God should equip everybody should get ready to prepare on how you must be a producer of something. Because even as we have entered the year 2025, everybody must have what's called the access to production, the access to being a producer of any particular thing. But if you ask the major prophet of God to talk more on the area of your production, it should be more of things that are edible. And when you talk about things that are edible, you are talking about things that are eatable. Edible things should be the area of your concentration, because the world is tightened up. The world in general is tightened up, because there's going to be a test run of different things on the face of the earth. And all these things that are going to be test run on the face of the earth, the people who are now currently the billionaires of the earth are making what's called a plan. And these plans they are making, major prophet of God has seen it even before now. Major prophet of God, by the grace of God, has known it all before now by the Spirit of God. Because God cannot do anything cannot happen except the Lord has revealed to his servant, the major prophet of God. God has already revealed to major prophet of God that there's what's called a new plan to move what's called the second phase of the earth, outside the earth. When I talk about this, many people will try to challenge the major prophet of God, or try to come and oppose the major prophet of God. That's what's called the second phase. And this very second phase is what's called outside the space. This is outside the earth. Right there in outside this space. The earth. Outside the earth. This is a different planet altogether. This is a different place that want to be developed, that want to be inhabited, that want to be produced, that want to be made a place where they are going to source out all the wealth of the earth to go and develop. This is a place they are about to go and develop. This is a place they are about to go and develop there, and move as many as possible, move them out of this face of the earth and move them straight away to the place that have been developed. And when the people are moved out of this earth to the place that is developed, what is it all about? It is all about the end. Because there's a lot of things that are happening in the spiritual world that the enemy wants to rule by all means. But as long as we are in the world, the Bible says we are the light of the world, and the light will continue to shine in darkness, and darkness will not comprehend it, because God will always remain God, and while man remain man. In the realm of the spirit, God knows how to help his people and push his people to get to the point of their destination. And so we must continue to pray that God shall cause these plans of the wicked people not to succeed. And this plan has been test run and is about to completely succeed. But the saints of God, the children of God, should pray there should not be alternative to this earth as long as the earth remaineth, until Christ is come and take his people. There should not be alternative to this earth. When there is alternative to this earth, they will test run all the equipments and all the destructions, and they will lose what's called the hell. And when the hell is loose, it becomes a very big issue. Let the believers pray about this matter. Some of you will be like, oh, this matter is not a matter to be serious. It's not a matter to take serious. When is it going to happen? Everything that the Lord has revealed to his servant, the major prophet of God, is for a time. And if you are conversant with me, you will know that all the prophecies, they come one after the other, one after the other. And before you know it, it is where the Lord has said that it will be. That's where it is going to be. Because in the realm of the spirit, these things I am seeing will trigger what's called the power seat in America to have a different reshufflement. Pay attention to this. Pay attention to this. Commit your prophet of God, see at it in many years before it will start to happen. That's going to be what's called a power reshuffle right there in the seat of power in America. Because whoever sits on the seat of America will have to comply for this issue. The major prophet of God is seeing, and this is what's called evacuation of humanity, especially the billionaires, out of the earth for alternative earth. And this alternative earth will be more of like attrition earth. Even though God has created the universe and that is place is a place that has been on its own, but there's going to be what's called moving, what's called the billionaires to this very place to go and stay there and make this earth whatever they want to do. And so whosoever sit on the seat of America will have to be pushed or forced to attest or to support and or to join this very plans that is on ground in the realms of the spirit. Remember the last year when the Lord was giving me revelations, I talked about the meeting right there in the space, and many of you were like, oh, what's this man talking about? Major prophet of God will always reveal mysteries as the Lord give the mysteries to his servant, the major prophet of God, to prophesy things the way they are before they begin to happen on the face of the earth. Because I'm seeing in no distant time, I am seeing a sitting president of America that's going to turn to what's called life president. What's this all about? Is this going to be the Donald Trump, or who is going to do this? What's going to happen here? Who is this person that want to sit on the seat of America, to sit there permanently, just like Russia, just like China, and just like other countries, like the country of what's called, this was called in the realm of the spirit, this was called like the country of the country that's called, this was called North Korea, sitting there, permanent life president. And this issue also will become an issue that they will push up in Nigeria to also do the same thing here in Nigeria. And if this thing happen in Nigeria, that means the president of the country, Nigeria, will become a life president, and that means Tinubu will sit on that seat permanently, and you can do nothing, you can move him. Or what's going to happen this? Major prophet of God is already in the spiritual world, connecting with the spiritual dot, and the dots that are already linking each other the way they are now in the realm of the spirit, to now begin to look at all these things the way they are spiritually designed right there in the spiritual world. The major prophet of God is bringing this issue as the Lord has opened the eye of the major prophet, because in the realm of the spirit, the person that sits on the seat of American presidents is going to be forced to sit there permanently as a life president. And then I begin to cry, what is happening to, where is the democracy? And what's the democracy all about? Where's the democracy? And democracy, or whatever you call it now, become what's called truncated and shattered and put by the side. Democracy for other things, but democracy not for the seat of presidency. Please, if you're watching me right now, I want you to be a witness. Comment witness, meaning that you are already hearing what I'm saying. Please, wherever you're watching me, comment witness, because these things are already designed in the spiritual world. And when the news will begin to come up and you begin to hear the rumors of these things, some of them will start what's called third time agenda, and from third time agenda you begin to hear other things, and before you know it, this is what is going to surface on the face of the earth. Comment witness wherever you're watching this very program. Let the world know that you are the witness of this message that is coming forth. Because when days will surely come to be on the face of the earth, you will be able to tell other people that you were there live when the prophecy was given live. Because you're going to hear a news right there on your BBC and CNN and other world news outlets. So when you begin to hear these things, you'll know that the major prophet of God, God has given the revelations on these things and how they are going to be. Because you that ought to pray will have to pray the prayer you need to pray now. Because very soon time shall come. America will no longer do voting or voting. Oh, this one is going out, the other one is coming in. America will now go into what's called one presidency for life. Write it down. Write it down. Write this down. This is what they're going to push very soon. And the care not taken, Donald Trump will start this matter. Because they're going to push this. They're going to push this. These things are already under the carpet in the realm of the spirit, even when it's not in any man's mind. And the Bible said, eyes have not seen, ears have not heard what is kept in the spirit realm. And the Lord has already revealed to his major prophet to now see it the way it is in the realm of the spirit. Thank God you are a witness so that we all can come back here and say, I was there when the revelation was given. But I want to pray for every one of us that God will give us the grace and keep us in the land of the living, preserve us, that whatever is going to happen, God will disappoint the plans of the wicked because of his own inheritance. Because this matter is going to be a serious matter, and when this matter becomes a serious matter, every country will have to contend with their own, because many presidents of these categories I'm seeing in the realm of the spirit will push for what's called life presidents. Life presidents. They will push for life president. What are you going to do about this? What are you going to do about this? The eye of God is already showing you what is already spiritually designed, that is going to be announced to you. And when this is announced to you, what are you going to do about this? Do you have any solution to this matter? What are you going to say about this? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do about this? Because it will come with what's called a 10-time agenda, 10-time agenda to 4-time agenda to permanently. If election must be conducted, the election will just be shallowly conducted just for formality's sake, and the person who is there continues on the seat. Go and write what the major prophet of God is prophesying today, because it is going to happen in your very eye, in your very eye, in your very eye, in your very eye, because the billionaires and the richers will continue to get richer. They will continue to get richer, and because of the richness of their riches, they will now want to do something unthinkable, creating artificial earth for themselves, while the people of this world are struggling in this world to maintain peace and to make sure that they fight against insurgents.
Ndị banyị ngwadalụ nenu kunu si Venezuela n'ilu akwụkwọ n'ihe anyị na-eme dị iche iche ka ife nwere ikwu gbasata maka ya bụ ife major prophet kwuo n'ilu akwụkwọ ka your own reaction drop ụra ife iche n'ụdị nke gị ngwadalụ nenu ụmụnne m ka emesịa.